Thank you, participants. You are most welcome to my session on AI and its implication for modern education. And it is my proud privilege and pleasure to interact with you all this evening on a topic which is of very major importance in India, particularly in the world of both academia and professional education. Although I'm writing here modern education, but I will be equally focusing on professional education and management education, including the education for cost and management accountants. I will be covering in general this agenda, the big question in the academic and professional education world, technology and taxonomy of EdTech, management education and thinking, Quadrennium for innovation, artificial intelligence revisited. I will revisit artificial intelligence, application-oriented learning, AI-driven learning, perspectives of teachers and students, more reflections with questions and observations. Towards the end of the session, I will keep about 15 minutes for raising questions by participants. What you can do, you can put your questions in the chat box, and Aniket will help me to know those by he throwing the questions on your behalf to me, and I will answer to the extent those are possible and to be taken within the given time. Thank you, Aniket, for your kind words while introducing me. And let me add a bit to the introduction. This is my work, and I will quickly request my participants here to kindly connect with me through LinkedIn. I have about 22,270 plus connections in LinkedIn, so you can remain lifetime connected with me through LinkedIn. And generally, I do not leave any questions or any message unanswered. So even after the session is over, if you have any questions, or for that matter, any question in finance area and digital technology related area, it will be my pleasure to either answer you straight away or do further research or answer you. So you can join the bandwagon of my connections of about 22,270, and it will be my pleasure to have you in my network. You can also connect with me to the X handle. And I'm not that very active, but generally I am there regularly 2-3 times. But in LinkedIn, I'm very, very active every day, morning, evening, afternoon, etc. I have a personal YouTube channel. You can connect with me through that channel. And there are about 79 videos. Half of those videos are technology oriented, more than half, about 60 videos of those are on technology and finance oriented technology, digital technology included therein, and rest of these are on finance and general management. So I'm sure you will find a lot of learning material there. And those videos, some of those are short period videos, 25 to 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and some of the videos are 1.5 hour to 2 hours. So please connect with me through LinkedIn, through my YouTube channel, and of course through my X handle. With these few words, let me tell you one point which you will be definitely surprised, that Dr. Basu, we have never heard while Aniket was introducing you any technical qualification you possess. So how dare you talk about digital technology? You are right when you raise this question or doubt on me. Let me tell you one thing. Aniket, is my presentation visible? Aniket?
Yes, your presentation is visible, sir.
Okay, but my face is not visible. You can make it live.
Your face is also visible, sir.
Okay, fine. So so you can ask me that question, why I do not have any technical qualification yet. I'm talking on digital technology. The screen in front of you is something showing there's a software for which I was the principal inventor, was registered in the World Intellectual Property Organization, USA. And this software was for method of converting and presenting financial information. This was a software which I created. And this software I created in 2011. It was registered with World Intellectual Property Organization. And let me tell you one thing. Software or information and communication technology and computing software and digital technology is my area of passion. I'm working on this subject since about 1994, and digital technology I'm studying since about last 10 years. So passion area gives me the courage to stand in front of you and talk on digital technology. Now let me start on the topic. As I told you previously, I'll be talking about the big questions on the academic and professional education world. Then I'll come to technology and taxonomy of education technology. Then I'll talk about management education and thinking quadrennium for innovation. These are the three bullets which will prepare, or these are the three segments of my talk which will prepare my talks for bringing you the second and the heart of the topic, artificial intelligence, application-oriented learning, AI-driven learning, and more reflections on the questions and observation of yours. In the process, I will bring out both the benefits, that is the positive side of AI-driven learning, and the negative side of AI-driven learning if proper methodology ethics are not followed. So kindly put your attention very closely with me and on my presentation. I'm sure the Institute of Cost Accountants of India will put my presentation in the website for students and members to further look at and reflect on my thoughts. And of course, you can definitely present your questions further through LinkedIn, Twitter, and other handles, that is X handle. So let me come to the topic straight away. The big question in the academic and professional world is what? And I'm here professional, I'm meaning professional education world, like the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, MBA education, and so on. Before that big question, let us understand what exactly the world education is. Unless we understand what is education, we will not be able to understand the whole presentation during the next about 90 minutes. Education is an enlightening experience. So it enlightens the learner. The theory and practice of teaching, that is also education. Education is information about or training in a particular subject. Education is a body of knowledge acquired while being educated. A body of knowledge. You are acquiring a body of knowledge while you are being educated, or you are educating somebody. The process of receiving or giving systemic instruction. Receiving are the students, giving are the tutors. Systemic information which are not wild and unsystemic. Systemic information. It is also sharing experience in a school or in university. Of course, let us add here professional educational institutions like our institutions, MBA institutions, etc. So education is a very wide implicating subject. It's an experience. It's the theory and practice of teaching. It is information and getting enlightened with knowledge. It is something to do with training. It is something to do with receiving and giving systemic instruction, experience, and in a school or in a university. Now, let us bring in the context here for the Institute of Cost Accountants of India or MBA programs, or for that matter, advanced studies in any program. What is professional education? Professional education is a specialized training that provides individuals with application-oriented knowledge. I will be giving a lot of stress on this phrase, application oriented knowledge. That means any knowledge which you can apply while solving problems in a business environment, while solving problems in your day-to-day management consulting, or your cost audit, or your income tax audit, or whatever consulting services and professional services you provide, or when you are working in an organization, you can apply those knowledge for solving problems. So it is about application-oriented knowledge, application-oriented skill, and application-oriented competencies needed for a specific career such as finance, medicine, or engineering. So here we are talking about finance. And here we are talking about both servicing in industry and practicing and consulting. Now look at the previous graphic here. Here, normal academic education is talking about attaining a degree, may it be postgraduate, undergraduate. Of course, postgraduate is these days mostly application oriented. But look at the icon here. Here the icon is giving an icon of the industry and giving an icon of bulb, which was not there in the previous icon. The bulb here represents innovation. That means professional education not only should equip you with knowledge, but also equip with application-oriented knowledge and help you to innovate something new which is hitherto not available in the world. So professional education has got both to do with application-oriented knowledge and innovation. So the key components of professional education is specialized knowledge and skill for a particular profession in the matter of concepts, principles, and techniques. Concepts, principles, and techniques relevant to a particular profession. Competency and application. You are not only attaining the skill, but also you are attaining competency. Competency means a skill which can generate value. You are competent enough to be appointed or to be a consultant. You may have skill, but you may not have the competency to generate value. Professional education gets completed when you have both skill and competency. But the most important point here is ethical and social understanding. No knowledge is helpful today in the context of today's world, where ethical and social understanding of your knowledge is not there. So we are talking about professional ethics quite a lot, but in today's context, professional ethics is integrated with the knowledge of application of digital technologies, because digital technologies are now being used for lots of unethical purposes in many unethical ways to attain many unethical objectives. So if a professional like us uses digital technology with unethical purposes, without understanding the social implication of it, then definitely that's not the ideal way. Formal credentials. Successful completion often results in formal credentials such as degree. So when you are doing professional education, you are getting a degree called CMA or an MBA or CA, whatever it is. But the beauty of professional education that it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there after getting the degree. It's not so. Since you are in the industry and continuously economic environment of industry, societal environment of industry, geopolitical environment of industry is changing. So a professional guy should be a continuous learner and micro learner. Micro learner, I mean, say after finishing 5 years of CMA, on the 6th year, you go again for having a certificate course, or you go for a 7 days continued education program in some business school, or you join the advanced studies program of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. So professional education has to have specialized knowledge and competency. It should be ethical with social understanding. It should be formal credential. You should have so that your employer can know what you are, and it is continuous learning. So professional education has got something more than what his academic education needs. The big question which comes, Aniket, is my presentation going on okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Or
sir. It
any?
is okay. It is okay and completely visible, sir.
Okay. What is the first question? The big question for a teacher today to ponder over is, why should a student come to my class for synchronous learning? Synchronous learning means learning when the teacher and the students are in person present physically in front of each other. Synchronous learning when the digital world is offering a sea of knowledge. Any knowledge today you can get from Google Uncle, you can get from Google University, you can get from YouTube University. So why the teacher should ask himself or herself why a student should come to my classroom? Even for a professional tutor, that means in our oral coaching classes, when a faculty member is teaching, he or she should also think, why should a student come to my classroom unless I can give something different? How can I help them with asynchronous learning? That means after they finish my class, when they go back home, how can they continue with the learning of the chapter or the section or the segment or the subject which I have taught in an asynchronous mode? That means when I'm not in front. So I should be able to, providing not my own teaching materials presentation, I should be able to give the students all the resources for learning, both from the printed media, that is books and publication, but also from the digital media, including suggest some good YouTube videos which are of advanced nature than my own teaching. How can I lead them through the path of thinking and reflecting? This is the most star-studded item. That means if a student only listens and realizes and learns what the teacher is teaching, matter doesn't end there. A student has to think. That's why I showed you the graphic where professional education has got two things. One is the sign of an industrial will and also the sign of a bulb for innovation. So unless you can think and reflect, you cannot innovate. A teacher's teaching is incomplete if he or she cannot make students to think and reflect. Now, what is the question of a student? What the student should ponder over? The student should ponder over what value I can add to the knowledge of repository of my own and my classmates while my teacher facilitates learning. Here, one must understand what I'm talking about. In a classroom, I as a student, I should be able to give my observations or analyze certain answers or add some value to the teaching I'm receiving from my teacher with due respect and regard to my teacher. That means on a subject, if I can add contemporary information or an application oriented information which has happened somewhere in the world, or add a thought of mine which will be a new thought on this subject, which is an innovative thought on this subject, then it will be very useful. Today in the world, you can see lots of innovation like Swiggy. We never thought that we'll make a telephone call to get a taxi, and thereafter we make a message and we get a taxi at our doorsteps, or we get food at our doorstep. Those are the innovations happening. How can I enhance and advance my power of thinking? Education doesn't only make you knowledgeable, but it also makes your power of thinking much deeper, much sharper, and much regular. You can start thinking on a regular basis. What is the power of wisdom then? What is the power of wisdom? And it's a very, very important point. Cash brings cash. The power of wisdom is cash brings cash. The first cash is knowledge, attitude, skill, and habit. A student should not have only knowledge. He should not only acquire knowledge. He should also acquire attitude. Here the attitude means the learning in the right way, with the right perspective, with an ethical manner, with a socially responsible manner, with a future orientation manner, application oriented manner, innovation oriented manner. And you should only not stop at knowledge. You should attain skill of applying that knowledge. Suppose you are learning marginal costing, or you are learning standard costing. You should be able to attain the skill of applying marginal costing or activity-based costing for solving a problem in your industry. And if you have the habit of acquiring knowledge, if you have the habit of acquiring an attitude or improving your attitude, if you have the habit of attaining new skills, the cycle will continue. That means you will be a continuous learner and your knowledge periphery will keep on increasing. So knowledge is not a one-time learning. It doesn't stop here. It goes further to the outer periphery of the world. And if you have cash, that is knowledge, attitude, skills, and habit, cash will follow you. Here the cash means money. Your earnings will follow you. You will be spotted by employers and you will be getting success in your life, not only by earning money, but also by contributing to the society. So the teacher and the student has to understand that what I am adding value not only to my student, but also to the world of knowledge. A student must understand what I'm adding value not only to myself, but also to my class, colleagues in my classroom, my fellow students, and also to the body of knowledge and innovation. Finally, I should have knowledge, I should have attitude of learning, I should have attitude for acquiring new skills, I should have make myself into the habit of acquiring knowledge, attitude, and skill, and thus the cycle continues. What is the next question? What is modern education? Because the topic is modern education, implications of AI in modern education. Which features define education as a modern education? What is modernity about modern education? Modern means contemporary, recent, current, ongoing. So what is ongoing and recent and current is digital technology enabled education system. Now, digital technology enabled education system does not necessarily mean only AI driven education system. I will talk about it in greater detail. Modernity means modernism, freshness. This, of course, were there in education from the dawn of civilization. We were always, the humanity was always acquiring new knowledge and always making and keeping themselves contemporary to survive in the nature. The humanity is always acquiring new knowledge. But these three words, innovation, with the knowledge, I create something which is hitherto not there. I discovered something, I solve a problem, I find a way of solving a problem of the society in a much better way, like what we saw in Ola, or we saw in Swiggy, or what we are seeing in even today, quick commerce, not e-commerce. Next is the stylishness. This word, of course, is there in the Oxford Dictionary. Stylishness here means the smarter way of learning. Smarter doesn't mean losing the value of learning. Smarter means I smartly learn something means I quickly learn it and I quickly acquire the application oriented skill and skill for solving a problem and skill for innovating something. So modernity was there in education always, but it was limited to freshness and newness. Now things which are adding day by day, because the world is getting complex. VUCA fu, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, fear of unknown, and unprecedentedness. Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, fear of unknown, and unprecedentedness. Nobody saw COVID-19. It devastated the economy of 193 states. So in this VUCA world, if I have to solve problems, I have to have, along with education, the innovation, innovativeness, and stylishness. That is what is the modern education talking about. Okay, now let us come to the 4 impulses of a learner. Now, how a person learns? A person learns like a kid learns, like a small child learns, and we'll talk about not only learning, we'll also talk about aspirational learning. We'll talk about also aspirational learning. What is aspirational learning? A professional education makes you an aspirational learner. Now, so you are a learner lifelong, definitely, but you should be an aspirational learner when you are getting into professional education, management education, when you are learning cost and management accounting. Now, what is aspirational learning? I'll share with you right now. Before that, let us understand what are the 4 impulses of a learner. The child within a man or woman. Think of when you are a learner, consider yourself that you are a child, you never knew this. You never knew this, and that is the way you will learn. That is the way you will learn. So a child learns, according to John Dewey, an American philosopher, a child has 4 impulses, and that is the way he learns. He inquires, constantly raises question. You must have seen kids of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of age asking question constantly to parents. Construction. A child, after when he or she learns something, tries to construct, means tries to express something by constructing a sentence or constructing an idea, and then he communicates. After inquires, through inquiry he gathers certain knowledge. He or she processes the knowledge and constructs something in terms of his or her own understanding, and then communicates, expresses. Sometimes he communicates through words. Sometimes, suppose a person who has learned dancing, he or she will express by dancing. So expression comes in there. According to James Levin, these 4 have helped and guided the teachers. James Levin, who is a educationist and a researcher, he says that these 4 impulses a teacher has to respond to. Even an education technology solution designer, they are also considering the need of a student to inquire, to construct, to communicate, and to express. So the solution designers are using these for technology designing and help developing new uses. So mind you one thing, that even when you are a management education student or a cost institute students, you are also a child. Unless that child is there inside your mind, you cannot learn knowledge. So the word impulse, now you are talking about impulses here, these 4 impulses. Now what impulses means? Impulse means instinct. Within you something there which prompting you. Next is desire, your urge to learn, your whim, your wild wish to learn, your bent of mind, your thinking process, and your compulsion. When you feel complete become and you come to the world of work, you are under compulsion to learn. That is also one of your impulsion, compulsion to learn to become a professional manager. So your instinct, desire, urge, whim, bent, and compulsion, these are your impulses to inquire, construct, communicate, and express. And all these phenomena are used for education technology also. We'll come to, you will say, ki, Dr. Basu, you are dealing too much on such things. You have not brought us to artificial intelligence as yet. I'm right, but let me tell you, artificial intelligence is an aid to learning. Unless we understand what is we are learning, what for we are learning, why are we learning, what we will do with this learning, how this learning will make us a still deadwood, how quickly we should unlearn and relearn, and what for we are learning, that is also important. This particular slide gives you what for you are learning. This is the famous Bloom's taxonomy. This is the famous Bloom's taxonomy, which helps a student to get into aspirational learning. A student in class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even up to higher secondary, tries to learn for remembering the knowledge he or she is acquiring. And along with the remembering, he also understands what is this knowledge all about. When you are learning physics, you are understanding what is heat is doing, what is temperature is doing. Why is, if I meet sulfuric acid with hydrogen, what happens? All these things you are understanding. What for we learn marginal costing. So you understand. After learning and understanding a particular topic, then you apply, use existing knowledge in new context. That means in a business organization, every day brings us a new problem. So what we have understood and remembered in our learning, we apply that in the process of solving a problem which has come to us in our practice, in our calculation, in our implementation, in our operation, in our use and in our illustration. Then we apply that and create a solution. That solution is implemented at the marketplace. Or suppose even if I'm a teacher, I have applied my knowledge as a PhD scholar, and whatever I have learned in my PhD or in my master degree, I try and bring the context through my analysis that what should I teach in a class 9 standard class or in a BCom class or in a CMA class. So I understand explore the relationship, the causes and connections. So after remembering, understanding, applying, you do the analysis. And after analysis, you do evaluate. What evaluation? What I have applied, analyzed and applied for bringing a good education to a student or bringing a good decision to a business organization. What is the result I have got out of that? If I find that I have not got the result I desired, then I keep evaluating. I evaluate, I assess, I judge, I defend, I prioritize, I critique, and I recommend. Critique means I analyze myself and I criticize myself. And then again, I earn better knowledge, refresh myself, and then start creating. In an education system, when you are a student of, may it be higher secondary, may it be foundation, may it be inter, may it be final, may it be advanced education, a student does all these 6 things in the process of learning: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Creating means solve a problem. And how solve a problem in front of you in examination? That's why we set case-based question papers. We directly do not ask what is marginal costing. Instead, we give a real life problem or understand a problem and create a problem and tell the student, here is a story in front of you, which is of a business organization. Please solve the problem of the company. You as a management accountant, what you have remembered, what you have understood, what you have applied in your class, in your examination and classes, in your teaching classes, oral coaching classes, you apply that to solve that problem. Why you are applying in a classroom environment or while acquiring your degree as a CMA? Because in industry you have to go and do it. So at times we get question paper in final CMA examination that create a framework, develop a framework, design a pathway, design a line of action, or by applying so and so, a company has got so and so result, assess and find the gap. So all these things what we do is nothing but what we have learned through education, through remembering, through understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. How can artificial intelligence help us to remember, to understand, to apply, analyze, evaluate, create? And what is the impact of that if we use the artificial intelligence ethically? And what is the impact of that if we do not use the artificial intelligence ethically and the way it should be, both from the perspective of a teacher and a student? Then we will definitely get some results which can be disastrous. So that's the purpose of today's webinar. The application of education technology by a teacher must help students to assimilate, apply, and analyze immersive knowledge. Immersive knowledge means you will be, when you are going into CMA program, getting the degree, you are immersed into problem in your question papers. From the immersed, you are immersed into a real life, pseudo real life situation. So the teacher is helping you the assimilate, apply, analyze immersive knowledge and learning content aligned with the levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So the job of a tutor is to help the student teach in such a way so that he can remember, he or she can understand, she can apply, she can analyze, she can evaluate, she can create. In other words, by doing all these 6 items, the teacher is helping the student and the student is helping himself or herself to remain industry ready, because there is a goal in front of him. He wants to be a successful professional. Earning comes later. So what is aspirational learning? Aspirational learning is when your learning is oriented towards achieving a high level growth in a dynamic business environment, you are called an aspirational learner. It does means you have an aspiration to shine in life, to be successful in life. And in the process of acquiring either academic education or professional education, for remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, you are making yourself ready for the aspirational goal which you want to achieve in life. So when you are learning something to achieve your aspirational goal, it is called aspirational learning. Education technology helps you to do aspirational learning, but don't forget to keep in mind that educational technology does not necessarily mean artificial intelligence. Education technology has got many other technologies in it, like blockchain, it is there, like portal technology is there, LMS is there, that is learning management system is there. In learning management system, we apply artificial intelligence to understand what is the level of understanding of a teacher. Suppose you are in a LMS system, you are going through you are going through a chapter, or you are listening to a video. After that video you have seen once, twice, thrice, it is called self-paced learning. As many times you want to see, you can see. Thereafter, there will be certain question coming up. Suppose there are 10 questions, you have answered 6 questions correctly, or 3 questions correctly, or 7 questions correctly. The back of the mind of the LMS system, artificial intelligence will work and try and understand which the student has correctly answered, what was the degree of hardness and complexity in that question. Was it a question to remember and just write it back? Was it a question that was testing his understanding? Was it a question that is testing his application-oriented knowledge? Was it a question which is understanding his capacity to analyze a problem and analyze certain data? Was it a question that he was evaluating some solution and evaluating some result of a solution given to generate a better solution, and finally whether he could create something new and innovate something new? So an educational technology applies artificial intelligence for helping the student and the teacher to understand what is the requirement of this particular student. So far as EdTech platform is concerned, all of you will say that Dr. Basu, you are a stupid. You are not at all talking about generative AI, chat GPT, perplexity, copilot, etc., etc. Hold on your breath. I'll talk about all these things. Aniket, is this going okay? Aniket?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is completely going okay.
What is the participation number as of now?
It is 150, sir.
Okay, thank you. 9 different intelligence within your brain works when you learn something. And this has been ideated by Professor Howard Gardner. Howard Gardner, along with his co-researcher, has talked about 9 distinct intelligences. That means a common human being has got 9 distinct intelligences, which helps a person to learn. It is up to a student or a professional learner to titillate that intelligence and learn. The first intelligence is verbal. That means you learn your intelligence to pick up things from somebody is speaking something and you are picking up from what is speaking out, which is linguistic. Next is logical. That means your teacher is solving a problem in the board or given an Excel-based solution or given a say financial model for valuation of equity share, and there are a lot of mathematical applications. You learn from that. You have a mathematical intelligence to learn. Then you have a visual intelligence. At times, we management educators who use a film. We use a film of 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and from after the film, we ask questions. Which part of the theory you have learned is being applied here? So you get spatial intelligence. Then you get bodily or kinesthetic intelligence. That means if a mosquito bites you, you immediately apply your hand to either make the mosquito go away from your body or kill it. What is this intelligence? This is called kinesthetic intelligence, which comes or prompts you to use your body to solve a problem. Next is musical intelligence. Like when you listen to Bhakti Giti and when you listen to a band song or a pop song, you can yourself make out that this is a pop song and this is a rocking song. That means dancing song. That's your musical intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence. When you interact or talking to your friend or your teacher or your student, you get from the interpersonal intelligence, you can understand what he or she is trying to speak out. What is the back of his mind? That is your interpersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence, you can sometimes talk to yourself. When you talk to yourself, suppose a teacher has taken a class or a teacher has taken a class, the student asks himself, have I understood what the teacher has spoken? Or I have to go back and spend half an hour, 45 minutes to read from the book. That is your intrapersonal intelligence. And the teacher's intrapersonal intelligence is that, could I deliver what I wanted to deliver? If I have not delivered, should I supplement it by giving more some reading materials or some videos or some teaching notes of mine or cover up something more in the next classroom? Next is natural intelligence. By observing something, when you are observing the nature, you learn. The best MIS system of the world is your mind. You know why? Because the moment there is a mosquito bite, Your mind prompts you that there is a pinch on your body, please take action. So natural intelligence is very, very important. And next is existential or intelligence which you develop from your day-to-day living. That means today, if you tell that your vitamin D3 is short in your body, you have learned something from Google that morning sun is good for vitamin D3, or you have to take D3 supplement by way of a tablet. So these knowledges are very, very important for you to acquire. So this knowledge and impulses are very, very, very important for you to apply. And when you apply this 9 intelligence, so you should not have only impulses to learn. You should have the intelligence to learn. Now, this intelligence of verbal, logical, spatial, body, musical, interpersonal, natural, and existential, these intelligence, it doesn't get developed day one when you are a child. You have to have the cash. You remember I talked about cash. Out of cash, A means attitude. You have to have the attitude to develop the impulses within you. That's very, very important. Okay, now let us go to taxonomy of EdTech, education technology. Now, what is educational technology? Educational technology came in 1450 first. Technology came to education 1450 first when printing press came. About 7 centuries thereafter, we got information and communication technology and we got digital technology about 30 years after information and communication technology. These technologies are helping us to create effective teaching and learning, impactful teaching and learning, training and evaluation. So there are 2 major technologies which came in the education world. One is the printing press and the other is information and communication technology. Digital technology is an offshoot of that, where a machine is made to learn something which a human being can do. So these information and communication technology and digital technology help us to synchronize the learning in such a way that when the teacher is not in front of us, or even if I don't have a physical book in front of me, I can do asynchronous learning. Asynchronous learning means I can learn without a teacher in front of me, without a YouTube video in front of me. That means only my learning will be facilitated by my teacher who has inculcated into me the power of thinking, the power of analyzing, the power of creating, the power of innovating. And this is equally applicable and more than equally applicable to Generation Z and Generation Alpha. I'm teaching as a visiting faculty. I'm teaching since 1989, and I am also teaching today MBA students. I am finding what is the change coming into this world in terms of teaching. So the collective effects of all these things have come into education technology. Mind you, I have not come into artificial intelligence as yet. I'll come to artificial intelligence soon. So what is the taxonomy behind education technology? Taxonomy behind education technology is students, learners, and professionals. Students here, I mean those who have not have any professional qualification as yet. Suppose after CMA, when you go for advanced studies, you are a professional student. Then comes information and communication technology and digital technology. Then comes knowledge, information, and learning resources. These are books, research papers, and these are videos of famous professors, etc. These are body of knowledge. And next is the teachers, researchers, and knowledge integrators. These are people. This is technology and the repository of knowledge. Now, repository of knowledge, etc. When these mix together, you get open source decentralized content. You get open source digitalized content, you get selected contents for learning and erudition, you get innovative contents for learning and erudition, and you get digitalized and immersive content. So you have your contents today for learning or open source, are innovative, that is LMS systems, which the institute will maybe soon provide you LMS system where you can learn from a software. You can assess how much you have learned by answering the questions and subsequently see the answers to the question. You can yourself assess how much you have learned. All these things are being possible by digital technology, and teachers and researchers and knowledge integrators, they are helping you in the process. So what is education technology? Education technology is ensuring to upgrade your knowledge, ensuring how can you evaluate and how can your teacher can evaluate, and your teacher can understand what is the gap in your knowledge and give you more, innovate and give you safety. Okay, so this is what is educational technology. And in the context of this, you people have to understand the impact of artificial intelligence. Okay, and now let us talk about thinking. Why do you need thinking? This Bloom's taxonomies upper three layers, that is apply, analyze, create and recommend, innovate. This is not possible unless you think. Thinking is very, very important both for a student and for a teacher. And even if you have education technology help in front of you and artificial intelligence in front of you, thinking will never go away. You have to continue to think. Now, why do we think? When we get, suppose I am in a classroom, my teacher is showing me a video, my teacher is showing me an Excel sheet, my teacher is speaking, my teacher is quoting from a research paper, my teacher is solving a problem, and all this information are haphazardly stored in my brain. What do? I have a left brain and I have a right brain. I will come to left brain, right brain little later. My teacher helps me to process this information, structure this information, convert this information, remember this information, understand this information, apply this information and store this information in my brain in a very structured manner, so that subsequently when I am in industry or in consulting work, I can recall those. Suppose even if an information knowledge or a process or a system is there in your laptop, but you have to understand what was there in that file and how do I apply the knowledge in that file. So there is no substitute of thinking. Mind you, unethical use of artificial intelligence or random use or maximum use of artificial intelligence can spoil your own thinking process, which you will never ever like to surrender to a computer or digital technology. So please never surrender your thinking power to computer technology. Okay, now come to this famous man story. Millions saw the apple falling. Newton asks why. Unless Newton would have asked why, the Newton would have not invent law of inertia, law of mass and law of motion. And if these three would have not been there in this world, we would have not flown an aircraft. We would have not gone from Calcutta to Mumbai in 2 hours time, because it is Newton's these three laws made us to fly an aircraft. So what is the definition of critical thinking? Newton thought it critically. Nobody thought it critically why an apple is falling to the ground and not going up or not going sideways, left or right. Critical thinking is the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment. So when a teacher is giving in front of you a piece of knowledge or a way of solving a problem, teacher is giving you something which to you is an issue, which until and unless you process yourself, you remember, you analyze, you judge, you will not be converting into knowledge. So critical thinking is helping you to do two things. One is pattern recognition, the brain's ability to link new ideas together. That because Newton could link the idea of inertia and gravitation, he could generate the new three theory. And critical thinking helps you to risk taking. Because you know that you have created problem by marginal costing or variance analysis or ABC costing, you have solved a problem, you are bound to reduce the cost of your product, or you are bound to set the price in a manner which your competitor will not be able to solve. So risk taking is the courage to bring those new ideas into the world. Risk taking, that means you have generated an idea. You should have a risk taking mind to bring that idea to the world, apply it to the marketplace and generate value for your organization and value for yourself. So critical thinking is extremely, extremely important, even if artificial intelligence in front of you. Okay. Now, what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is it involves processing and organizing facts. Organizing facts that means collating data, other information, and applying your cognitive skills. What is a cognitive skill? When I see a rose, I can say it's a rose, but when I see a chrysanthemum, I call it a chrysanthemum flower because I know how a rose looks like, how a chrysanthemum looks like. I know how an orange looks like, how an apple looks like. So these are my cognitive skills. Somebody sings something in front of me, a singer can immediately, I cannot pick up the singing, but a singer can pick up this song and immediately re-sing it. So these are the cognitive skills. So critical thinking helps you to develop your cognitive skill. What is strategic thinking? Strategic thinking is the way of approaching the fundamental drivers of a problem. Fundamental drivers of a problem and finding and developing unique opportunities and solving the problem. So if you are a student of professional education, only critical thinking will not help you, because you have to attain the skill of strategic thinking for analyzing a problem and understanding the drivers of the problem, solving the problem, and finding unique opportunities to apply your ideas to generate value. So artificial intelligence can give you a help, but cannot help you to think. You have to help yourself to think to solve a problem. Because once you solve a problem, then you convert it into an IT software. Think of the UPI. The problem was understood. The problem was thought through. The ideation was done, how the problem will be solved. Then the software was created. The software is first and idea is and thinking is next. No, idea and thinking is first and software is next. And for that you need design thinking. Design thinking is an iterative process to identify alternative strategies and solutions, which will be there can be 3, 4, 5 ways to solve a problem, which will be the ideal way to solve the problem in a most cost-effective manner. That is what helps you in design thinking. And next is radical thinking. Radical thinking is extremely required to innovate. If you do not challenge what is happening today, if you only might make something which is a little shinier than what is today, that's not solving the problem. That's why square root is the icon of radical thinking. That means you have to challenge the existing problem, existing solution, reanalyze the problem, rethink this solution, apply your strategic thinking and design thinking to create a new solution in a radically different manner. Like Meru came, after Meru came, Meru was this evening you give a call, next morning you get a car, and morning 4 o'clock you give a call, 10 minutes you get a car for going to airport. Unless there was a radical thinking, there would have not been Ola or Uber today. And all this thinking helps you to transform your new way of doing business, entirely new way of doing business, and create a model framework. And this continues in a dynamic way, days in, days out, to develop yourself. Now let us come to artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Very interestingly, I have interacted with thousands and thousands of people in various conferences, in various teaching classes and various management programs. Knowledge about artificial intelligence is very less. People do not exactly understand what is artificial intelligence. Earlier, people used to say what is produced by nature is natural, and what is not produced by nature and produced by human being, it is called artificial. Intelligence is ability to acquire knowledge and skills. This is the definition of intelligence, mind you, ability to acquire knowledge and skills. That is what is machine learning. Machine is given data and algorithm to understand what is to be done, and that is machine learning. So machine acquiring intelligence of a human being. So intelligence definition is ability to acquire knowledge and skills. What is cognitive intelligence? The intelligence of cognition or ability to recognize. You recognize an apple as an apple, a Lata Mangeshkar song as a Lata Mangeshkar song, and a Mohammed Rafi song as a Mohammed Rafi song. This is your cognition. This is your cognitive ability. Then what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence, and I'm reading this sentence, the theory and development of computer systems, which can perform tasks normally requiring human intelligence. So machine can do something which otherwise would have been done by a human being, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and translation. Today, you ask Hindi to Bengali translation, machine will do. Earlier, people used to do it. We used to have professional translators because machine have been made to learn how to translate from Hindi to English, English to Hindi. See the paradox. Earlier, the artificial word was between nature and human being. Today, the artificial word is being human being to computer. What human being can do, if it can be done by a computer, we call it artificial intelligence. Now what, and then who has taught the computer the intelligence? It is human being who has done the intelligence. So if any technologies would have not thought critically, strategically, radically, and in a design thinking manner, artificial intelligence would have not born. In 1930, Alan Turing, he is the gentleman who has first shown us what is artificial intelligence, followed by Marvin Minsky and McCarthy. They have taught us what is artificial intelligence. So what is the inference of artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the ability of a computing machine to perform a task that a human being can perform. Except one thing, human being cannot process 10 lakh data in 10 minutes, which machine can do. That's speed, let us forget. But human being definitely can process what a computer can do. And who is telling the computer do it this way? It is human being only. So as a student, let us not forget that the artificial intelligence is going to replace my thinking need. No, artificial is not going to replace your remembering need. Artificial intelligence is not going to replace your need for understanding, need for applying, need for analyzing, need for creating, and need for innovating at that Bloom's taxonomy I showed you. Artificial intelligence is helping you to do all this. And you should use artificial intelligence in such a way that your power of thinking doesn't go away. Okay, so there are three stages of artificial intelligence: artificial narrow intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and artificial super intelligence. Artificial narrow intelligence is give 50 years data of weather and the computer will predict the weather tomorrow. Artificial general intelligence, a robot sing in front of a robot and robot will re-sing it. That is what human being can do, artificial intelligence can do, artificial general intelligence. Artificial super intelligence. Artificial super intelligence is a science fiction that what a human being cannot do except speed, of course, speed and complexity, which a computer can do. And this is what? Wisdom. The wisdom and experience of a teacher cannot be replaced by a computer. I repeat, the wisdom and experience of a teacher cannot be replaced by a computer. So those people like us who are teaching in educational institutions like IIMs, in CMA classes, we must also think that we have to give the wisdom-oriented and experience-oriented learning to our students, which should be ethically, morally, and emotionally correct. We should passionately drive our students. Ethics, morality, and emotion, these are the three things which are in danger in today's world, and I'll show you very soon how it is in danger. And if a student is not passionate to learn, AI and artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Copilot cannot help. So, artificial intelligence cannot overtake human intelligence. A teacher who has got 30 years, 20 years, 10 years of teaching experience has seen thousands and thousands of students, understood the gaps in students. His experience, his knowledge, his wisdom cannot be replaced by a computer. What computer can do from the perspective of a teacher, let me tell you what a computer can do. If I am a teacher and I have created a teaching material, what I can tell Copilot, hey, I have created this teaching material. Please rewrite the teaching material without hallucinating. This is a must. When you give any prompt to any ChatGPT or any generative AI program, use the word first without hallucinating. If you allow the hallucination to be done by artificial intelligence, you will go to the jail. Like a lawyer fighting a case in Supreme Court went to jail, or like 4 tribunal judge, income tax tribunal members of a tribunal in India lost their job because we are dependent. They became dependent on computer. So even if you get a product out of artificial intelligence, please do think through what I'm getting out of artificial intelligence is correct. So a teacher, after creating his own teaching material out of his own thinking, wisdom, power, knowledge, experience, everything, what he can do, he can improve it by giving it to Copilot and Perplexity and say, this is what I've created. Without hallucinating, please improve it. That perhaps would be a better way of taking advantage of artificial intelligence. And what a student can do, student can take the help of an LMS for self-paced learning and self-paced evaluation. We'll talk about it more. So these are the 4 stages of artificial intelligence, which is the mother: machine learning, neural learning, deep learning, generative learning, generative AI. These are the 4 stages. I do not want to explain to you this because this is not a class of artificial intelligence by itself. Neither this webinar is on this subject. So machine learning is essentially, we must know a little better. A machine is made to learn from data in a supervised way or an unsupervised way. A machine is given, say, 20 years results of a subject, say corporate finance or strategic financial management or strategic cost management. And machine is also given the questions and the ideal answers and the answers of students. 10 years, there will be definitely 10,000 or 20,000 students. Now, the machine can be asked to know, please compare the ideal answers with the students' answer and try and understand where are the gaps and tell us, generate a data about the gap in the knowledge, the application oriented skill of the knowledge by the students to solve the problem we have given in the question paper and tell us how to improve the teaching or where the knowledge gap so that we can fill up. To a teacher, machine learning can help him in this way. So think of ML as a student. Like a student, if you solve a problem to create from a given data, you can create a profit and loss and balance sheet and tally the balance sheet, not in the first attempt. After 10 different attempts, you can solve the solve balance sheet and try the balance sheet. And after completing the 10 solved problems, next problem you will not make a mistake after 10 different problem solving. So like you as a student get your expertise by solving problems, a machine also does get it. So that is what is machine learning. So we get generative AI, agentic AI. Generative AI is something which is applied in education in a big way, which can generate something unique in terms of an image, text, video, audio, structures, and computer code. A machine can generate with the apply of generative AI if a machine is given data. So generate brand new text, brand new images. Now let us understand what is a chat GPT. You give me the advantages and disadvantages of marginal costing without hallucinating. So you give this prompt to ChatGPT and ChatGPT will give you. How ChatGPT, where from ChatGPT has got? ChatGPT has scraped through all the knowledge content in the internet and from there has generated this answer. So this is generative AI. Similarly, it can generate video, it can generate civil structure, it can generate a computer code. What is agentic AI? Agentic AI is an advanced version of generative AI, where the agentic AI is a form of robotic process automation. It can take decisions on its own and solve a problem. Every time you need not prompt the computer to solve a problem. So the agentic AI is given independence to make decisions, to plan actions, and even learn from experience. Suppose he has planned 20 different actions, so and the results have been given in the form of data. So generative AI can generate the data, and finally agentic AI can understand the problem. And if the generative AI is now problem free to a very large extent, agentic AI, it can be converted to and it can be given independent way of solving the problem. Neuromorphic computing is what a human being can do in the form of fishbone analysis and learn from. In a neuromorphic computing, the computer system can learn from its mistakes and it can improve continuously. A predictive AI can predict the data. If it sees 10 different years data of the past, it can predict the data for the future, what it looks like. What is an OCR, optical character recognition? If you give them a printed page written in English, it can type it out in the form of a soft word file. Optical character recognition can read and then reproduce by writing. So optical character recognition helps us to, suppose you are giving your PAN card to a bank and an Aadhaar card to a bank. Bank doesn't want you to write your name. It will match the name with the PAN card and Aadhaar card, and then it will rewrite into the form which is supposed to be filled up. So I'm not getting into the details of it. Many of you know it. So this is not the class. My job is to understand the impact of all these things into education. So these kind of tools are applied in education, and these tools are generative AI, machine learning, natural learning process, and computer vision. Computer vision is augmented reality and virtual reality. Computer vision through artificial physics laboratory, artificial biotechnology laboratory, these are created by computer vision. scenario understanding, face detection, motion analysis. That means a cricket bowler is bowling. At what speed it is bowling, within second it is displayed in the videos TV which we are seeing. What is the speed of Bumrah's earlier ball? So this is artificial intelligence. It can motion analysis and of course text recognition. So generative pre-trained transformer, what we are talking about AI, generative AI or GPT, is that it can generate new text code. It is pre-trained. It has a transformer, a robust deep learning architecture that understands the context and relationship between words. When you are giving that give me the advantage of marginal costing, what it does, it locates 30, 40, 50, 100 such text in the cyberspace and understand the relationship between your prompt and the question and generates a new text answer for you. For that, it has been pre-trained. So ChatGPT can answer questions while content is software, translate, summarize, simulate, act as a tutor, and be a creative partner. Now, how can you apply ChatGPT? Suppose you are studying activity-based costing, or you are studying marginal costing, or you are studying strategic cost management, some problem of strategic cost management. Suppose there is a question, you answer the question yourself. Don't ever attempt to ask the answer to the artificial intelligence, perplexity, etc. for the first time. You do it first yourself, and then generate with with the ChatGPT a similar answer. You should apply not only for only ChatGPT, you should write to ChatGPT, to Gemini or Perplexity, 3, 4, whatever tools you have access. You write the same question and say, don't hallucinate, please give me the answer. Look at those answers with your answer. It could be possible in certain counts, your answer is better. In certain counts, their answer is better. But certainly in most of the cases, you will find structuring of the answer is much better in the generative AI. So if you, for the first instance, suppose the professor has given you a project to do, and if you straight away apply the whole thing into the ChatGPT and create, your learning will not take place. You will not think, your critical thinking, strategic thinking is gone. So please use the scope of learning first, generate the result, and then test the result with artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, the tools becomes your second tutor, tools becomes your evaluator. Okay. So I, as a person, professional, I use Copilot quite a lot. It is my conversational assistant. Copilot, I find, is a beautiful software. I give them something. After I do myself, I tell the Copilot to check it, and it gives me the job of a friend, intelligent friend. It helps me as a friend. At times it sparks my creativity. When I find that something they have written and I have not written, and I find that what they have written, I forgot to write, but it could be possible that what they have written, that is Copilot has written, is I know better than the Copilot. Then certainly when I write it on my own, both as a teacher, as a student teacher, from my experience and from my wisdom, definitely I'll write better than the ChatGPT. In certain areas could be the ChatGPT or Perplexity will be writing better. So I use Copilot in a big way, but I do not use to generate the original answer. I test my answer. So application-oriented learning is my core task. Now, why application-oriented learning is my core task? I've spoken quite a lot about it, so I'm not getting into what is the importance of application-oriented learning. I have spoken so much. Let me give you a very interesting preaching of our Gurukul. And I'll first speak in Hindi. Need and relationship between sadhya, sadhan and sadhana. Sadhya, sadhan and sadhana. Sadhya means capability and skill. Sadhan means resources to learn. My books, my money, my teacher, my access to a computer, my access to Wi-Fi, these are my resources for learning. And sadhana. Sadhana is my dedication. Sadhana is my dedication, my commitment, my unwavering commitment, my courage, my those 9 impulses which I talked about you, these are my sadhana. So kitna bhi sadhan ho, sadhana bina sadh nahi milta. As much resources you have, you will not get the capability unless you have sadhana. That means you yourself don't do it. I'll keep 15 minutes, don't mind. Aniket, I'm going right. Okay, it's going.
Yes,
Aniket,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is completely fine and going well.
okay. So unless you have sadhana and sadhan, you cannot acquire sadhya. So for living a meaningful life with success and achievement, skills and capabilities are required. Sadhya is required for aspiration of life to become fulfilled, that is become a exceptional business manager or a business leader in life. Application oriented knowledge is primary to capabilities. So you have to have application oriented knowledge. So there is no substitute of learning. Okay. So substitute, the learning is needed and application oriented knowledge is needed for your life, which is as inspirational or aspirational learning. For attaining knowledge, you need resources. One of the resources today is Copilot, Perplexity, or ChatGPT. That is sadhan, like your book, research materials, your teacher's class, your classroom teaching by your teacher's help, his teaching notes, his presentation, etc. But the important point is here, despite resources being in abundance, one cannot attain capabilities without unwavering dedication, sincerity, and total commitment, that is sadhana. So my teaching to the students here as a 46 after 46 years of my passing CMA and CA and MCOM and PhD or whatever you call it, even today I spend 3 to 4 hours in learning. That is sadhana. So as much artificial intelligence you can have in front of you, apply it for doing your sadhana. That means you should be applying your resources for your dedication, sincerity of learning. Do not ask those things to do your job. Don't substitute your commitment, your dedication, your efforts by those softwares. If you do that, you are gone. The general consensus in the industry today that a qualified engineer and a qualified professionally education, I'm sorry, I'm not using the word engineer. I'm sorry, I uttered that profession. Any professionally qualified from any stream of knowledge today is not directly deployable in industry. They have to be trained for 6 to 8 months before they are trained. Why? Because knowledge, application oriented knowledge, problem solving skill, analysis skill, creative skill is not there. This is not there because sadhana was incomplete. So sadhana is important. So digital technology based learning platforms are being referred here not only as AI tools. So AI tools are not there, are not the only sadhan. AI tools are sadhan. These are resources for learning. Let me tell you, 2 things you must know how to differentiate. One is a platform for learning, a digital platform for learning, and another is AI tools. When an institute asks you to learn through LMS system, mind you, it is not AI tool. It's a substitution of a book and your professor. You are learning in your own way, either through a video or through some reading material which is being put in front of you sequentially in a structured manner, in an integrated manner. And after those are put in front of you, you take your own time to see those, read those, think on those. After that, there will be a question paper and you answer the question paper and submit. You get evaluation, how much you have got right, how much you have got wrong, why you have got wrong. These are called LMS system, learning management system. Learning management system applies artificial intelligence only to evaluate where is the gap you have, so that in the next time the professor who has created the learning management system can change the video or add something more into the video or deal on a topic much detailed manner. So learning management system, do not misunderstand it with an AI tool. In front of you, there is no AI so far as the learning management system. You must use an LMS system if it is available to you. AI and contemporary way of living life. The point here is that artificial intelligence is in our life. We cannot avoid it. And we should not avoid it also, because the world, you will get certain definite benefits from artificial intelligence. But the problem here is the ethics. It should not affect society mentally, physically, and economically. You should have appropriate legal structure and uphold fairness and justice. You know one thing, artificial intelligence companies are now hiring psychologists, even for their own employees, because these guys who are applying artificial intelligence for next step of artificial intelligence, they are thinking power gradually reducing. So fixing the gap between AI legal and ethical issue is a highly strenuous track, because modeling machine like humans with same amount of creativity and reasoning skills looks non-viable. You as a human being has stupendous power of thinking, and a machine cannot replace you. Only thing is that machine, after you test yourself by creating what you want to answer, create, problem solve, machine can help you to assess whether what you have done has been done correctly or not. So it will be an absolute stupidity. It will be an absolute stupidity to avoid AI. But how to use AI is very, very important. And for that, the government should come with an appropriate legal structure and governance structure. 3 days before, the India AI governance document has been published. I read that India AI governance document. It's about a 65-page document. I didn't find any specific page on EdTech, but what I found is that it has laid superlative importance on ethics. It has laid superlative importance on risks. So you as a student and you as a teacher should understand what risk you are exposing yourself to as long as you are using AI powered items. So AI, what is AI? AI is an intelligent tutor. AI can make you an intelligent tutee, that means student. AI can provide you intelligent learning tool, and it can be your learning partner, like an LMS is an intelligent learning partner of yours. AI can help you to do policy making. So automated, it can do automated KIC. It can profile you as a learner. You are an average learner or an outstanding learner. It can profile you. It can do intelligent tutoring. It can do self-paced learning. It can do adaptive teaching. A teacher can take the help of AI for adaptive teaching. It can do automated evaluation, which will save a lot of time of the teacher. 10 lakh, 20 lakh applicants for jobs are being examined and evaluated within 3 to 4 days time. That is, AI helps performance analytics and demographic attributes, etc., etc. So AI helps us in a big way. The future of education with AI promises even more transformative changes, from virtual reality classrooms to AI-driven tutors. Virtual reality classrooms means you will get a physics laboratory within the classroom. So AI can help you all this. The key challenge lies, so impact of AI on education is in the form of solving these challenges. If these challenges can be solved, impact would be less. If these challenges are not solved, impact will be more. The key challenges lies in ensuring that AI complements human intelligence rather than replace. Very, very important statement. You as a student, your thinking power should not be replaced. You have been given a 30 marks project and you are doing the entire project solving by getting into AI chat GPT. No, you are creating a disservice. You are doing injustice to yourself because you are saving in your thinking power. So artificial intelligence will impact you very, very adversely if you try to save your time and thinking power by applying artificial intelligence tools instead of using our artificial intelligence as your helping hand. You know, one thing very interesting happening in the world, the content creation and information growth is going like a perpendicular height. This is the time, and it is going at a 90-degree height. But human absorption capability is much less. So the Gartner research says that the speed at which information is growing and the speed at which human beings are absorbing this information, there is a huge gap. So how to develop student skills, how to ensure validity of research, how to select appropriate models for education. These are very important 3 things for a teacher. From the teacher's perspective, this huge growth of data and content and information is in front of you. How to use it, which tools to be used for it. So you as a teacher have a challenge. You as a student also have challenge in front of you. And in order to do the job in a better way, you think AI is the panacea. AI can solve all my problems. Friends, not. AI can solve your problem temporarily, but it will never ever increase your creativity power. So EdTech service providers are gradually developing a global academic economy. According to publication of the world, the next 10 years will see 800 million K-12 graduates. That means 800 million is equal to 80 crore graduates will come in next 10 years, plus 12 plus, and 350 million post-secondary education schools will be there. So think of how much knowledge requirements, how much experiential learning requirement will be there to fit these 800 million K-12 graduates and 300 million post-secondary education schools. So there will be education technology. Education technology will help to access the education materials from the village and the remotest corner of the earth by computing system and information technology system. But the problem is that the students should not be exposed to wrong information and wrong unethical tools. That is the importance of the contribution of students, teachers, and EdTech professionals, that you should have AI-driven learning, but AI-driven learning does not bring unethical things. So AI-driven learning helps to foster interactive collaboration. creation and curation. So a teacher has to do interactive collaboration with the content duly created and curated. A tool helps a teacher to develop academic content. Suppose you want to create an academic content, that is the course outline of a particular subject with a curriculum standards. That means standard, same strategic cost management for final year CMA and an advanced studies CMA would be different, little bit different. So it should satisfy the diverse needs of the students. So AI driven learning should be requirement fulfilling tool from the circumstantial point of view of the student, level point of view of the student, problem solving need of the student. You cannot solve the same problem in the manufacturing industry and the service industry using the same cost data. So which data you will be applying to train your AI tools for giving you insights from the data is also something which you have to learn. So AI gives you a result, but giving the right data at the right time for the right purpose with the right objective is also important. So education is to help both personalized learning and adaptive learning. These are the benefits of AI in education: personalized learning, adaptive learning, enhanced institutional support, instructional support, data-driven insights, automation of administrative tasks, access to high-quality education, support for inclusive education, lifelong learning, innovations in educational research, and scalability. These are the benefits AI can give you. But now let us get into ethical consideration of learning. I will finish in another 5 minutes. Aniket, then I will open for discussion, question and answer. Okay, I have two more slides to go through. These are we have already discussed, but I'm just going to summarize ethical considerations on teachers concerned in an AI-driven world. The impacts, let me tell you, the impact is simple. Impact can be very wonderful in terms of acquiring knowledge, skills, habit, attitude, and creativity. Impact would be equally bad. The importance here is for the student and the teacher to decide the use of the right tool at the right time for the right purpose, for the right level of students, with the right data, integrated with the knowledge, wisdom, ethics of the teacher and the learning management system. That's very, very important. So never ever bypass learning. Don't let the machine do your job, which you can do. I'm not talking about voluminous data to be processed by you. That is not possible by a human being. At least one can think how to process the data. Loss of power of critical thinking. And it is harder for AI tools also to inculcate that. Critical thinking is very, very important. Don't ever lose your power of critical thinking because you are using AI tools. Inappropriate AI literacy skills. You should be first having the proper knowledge of what is AI and why AI can do in education, how LMS systems are using AI, when I should use AI tools like Perplexity or Copilot or Gemini, when we should use, when we should not use. Like I gave you the example, how I use Copilot. Lack of academic integrity. This is something which we can talk about the last. I cannot expect my student doesn't have academic integrity, means I have given him a job to do and the student has gone to ChatGPT and complete the project report and produce in front of me. That is something I, as a teacher, will never even expect from my student. Absence of AI policy and control. Not only the government should give the AI policy and control system from the risks, but also an institution should have the AI policy. So recently there is an MIT research and the research was about ChatGPT, and what the research finding I'm just going to read for you. Expert caution that while AI can be a powerful aid, over-reliance may gradually dull our problem-solving skill. This is a research paper of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and the researchers are researching about ChatGPT users essays solely. People have written essays and ChatGPT has written essays. People have taken help of ChatGPT to write essays and those have been given for evaluation. And the result is being talked about. Experts caution that while AI can be powerful aid of over-reliance may gradually dull our problem-solving skill. AI can be a powerful aid, but over-reliance may gradually dull our problem-solving skill. Finding the right balance between convenience and cognitive engagement is key. Finding the right balance of cognizance and cognitive engagement and convenience is the key. In this context, the following recommendations have been recorded. Now, I don't want to give you the recommendation. You can read the recommendation from here. So students, what you are getting in conclusion, that impact of wrong use of AI can be disastrous on a student and a teacher. On the other hand, right use, ethical use, appropriate use of AI tools, access to AI tools can do good impact on student and teachers. The right balance between convenience and cognitive engagement is very, very important. This is I do not want to show in front of you the UNESCO's competence framework. This needs a lot of discussions, but if you get hold of this presentation of mine, you and the site which I have given here, from the teacher's perspective and a student's perspective, you can study and understand the problem in a bigger way, because these two slides need at least 2 hours to explain to you. And finally, I will request you, when you are using your ChatGPT or generic, you are using your logic brain, sequencing brain, linear thinking, mathematical thinking, analytics and facts of thinking. These are the left brain which helps you to do logic, sequencing, linear thinking, mathematics, etc. Your right brain helps you to do imagination, holistic thinking, intuition, creativity, rhythm, non-verbal clues, feelings, visualization, and daydreaming. A teacher, an experientially wisdom-oriented teacher, will be responsible for driving the student to use the right brain equally in the right perspective with the left brain. If you computer cannot inculcate into you what right brain can do, mostly computer cannot help you in all this. What computer can help you in all this? So your teacher and your own studies will be such that you apply your right brain. So artificial intelligence use has to be balanced in such a manner that your own learning efforts are not reduced in any manner, are not compromised in any manner. You should not lose your integrity, sincerity. You should not lose your own confidence. Let me give you a very interesting study now, and I close my discussion. Are the tools created by AI already impacting the mental health of their users? This was the question asked to Sam Altman and of ChatGPT. Are even the technologists who are innovating, further advancing and maintaining tools such as generative AI, Copilot and other being affected? So these are the questions which the society is asking. And Sam Altman says, the reported honest confession from Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, is that we are appointing forensic psychiatrists. OpenAI is hiring forensic psychiatrists. That's why Sam Altman is saying we are hiring forensic psychiatrists so that we can continue refining how our models identify and respond appropriately to sensitive conversations. That means the present team of technologists are not in a position to write algorithm and software to refine their ChatGPT program. Now they are hiring forensic experts. Think of the situation where how even a technologist is losing its skill capability, and their mental power is being reduced, and that's why forensic psychiatrists are coming. Here you saw that that soulless writing is being done. Students don't know what they are writing, and here you are seeing that ChatGPT's OpenAI guy is saying that we are hiring forensic psychiatrists. And there is one more thing I will caution you learners and teachers, that don't give any personal information of you. Don't say that I am a student of CMA of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India and I want to know. Because OpenAI's Sam Altman is saying that any information you are putting into the prompt, we are storing it. And tomorrow, for any reason, if there is a litigation in which you are involved, and if it is proved that you are using the output of ChatGPT, court of law asks us what was the question the user has given and what is the answer you have given. We are bound to give it to court of law. So that means you are not legally protected while using ChatGPT or Perplexity or Gemini or Copilot. So both the students and teachers must be very much aware how to use and why to use. So I'll stop sharing and I will now ask questions. Can I go back to ask questions?
Yes, sir.
Aniket,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are no such questions. We are requesting our participants, if they have any such questions, they can ask to our esteemed faculty, Dr. Basu.
There are questions in the chat box. Okay, sorry. Is there any question? How many participants are at the moment?
Sir, there are 130 participants right now.
Very
Currently
good.
we have.
Could you
Sir,
please
yes,
allow
sir,
allow the participants to speak?
No, sir. There in this meeting system, the participants cannot speak. Sir, there is a question. CMA Ashwini Kumar has raised a question. He is saying that, sir, can AI solve problems which are not already solved on net?
Already solved for?
Already solved on internet. Sir, he's asking that AI can AI solve any problems which are the solution of that which is not available on internet?
If you are using ChatGPT, it cannot. But let me tell you one thing. This question is very, very interesting. Suppose you are working in an organization and you are having a problem and you are using AI tool to give you some insight into the data. And if you ask ChatGPT, open ChatGPT, that means something which will open ChatGPT has got access to the whole world of data available in the internet space. So the solution which you will get is based on the data which the ChatGPT tool has scraped from the world of data. That solution may not be a solution which is appropriate for your organization. So many organizations, large organizations in the world, people like Hindustan Unilever or Unilever worldwide, they are using their own in-house data. That means their own data through ChatGPT to solve their own problem. But if you want to solve your own problem by using a ChatGPT which is facing or which is accessing the data of the world, then the solution which the ChatGPT or Gemini will give you may not be suitable for you. So your question is, can AI solve a problem which internet has not solved? That means perhaps you are trying to ask me that if I have a problem in my organization and if I ask ChatGPT to give me a data base which has happened in other company, or see what the other companies are doing to solve such problems, but ChatGPT can give you, or any generative AI tool like GenAI, etc. can give you. But they will scrape the data of the world. And your problem is related to your own industry segment, your own country, and your own company. So as long as the data is not within the environment of your own country, if you are an exporter, of course, the countries where you are exporting, in your own industry segment, suppose you are manufacturing or you are an IT company, and your own company where you have taken certain decision, you have generated certain result based off your capabilities in the last 10 years. So solution generated by artificial intelligence tools depends on the data it is accessing to create the solution or give you the insights from data. Could I answer the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have another question, sir. May I ask?
Yes, please go ahead.
Is prediction by AI is reliable? To what range in percentage? Mr. CP Patel is asking.
A very good question. Let me tell you one thing, that prediction by human beings for the foreseeable future is to a very large extent good. Like when I'm doing a share valuation of a company, I'm doing a financial modeling by predicting the sales cost, quantitative numbers for sales, price, value of cost, value of sales, quantity consumption of material, price of materials, thus my margin, EBITDA, etc. I can predict up to a foreseeable future. But if you need a prediction for about 10 years or 15 years, and if you can feed the data of past performance to the solution, that is predictive AI tool, perhaps predictive AI tool will give you a better prediction than you, because you as a human being, your information processing power in the brain, or 7 or 10 of you are together discussing, I'm talking about human, 7% are discussing the prediction. You are using an Excel tool and 7 brains are put in. I think predictive AI will do a better job. But you have to tell the predictive AI where from the past data to be used. Or suppose the predictive AI is using your own company's past data, you have to tell how the economic environment has changed. Let me give you an example. Suppose Hindustan Lever today is predicting the future quantity of sales. Now, whatever past data is available is with higher GST, and the future demand will be generated by lower GST. So likely to be that consumer spending will be more, thus quantity of sales will be more. It could be possible that some of your input materials are having lower GST. Of course, that will not create much of a problem because it will get input credit. So if the economic environment changes, if the business risk changes, if your horizon of customer goes beyond a state or a region or a country to an export or an export environment of other countries, you as a person have to help the computer by giving additional inputs, which should be considered by the AI prediction tool. Now, when you say that what will be the impact of GST, if you ask the AI to predict it itself, AI will not be, because the data AI will consult by scraping the internet of the industry sector, say consumer fast moving goods, say Hindustan Unilever in India, the data also not available in the internet. So you as a cost accountant or a business manager, you have to prompt the computer that please take so and so percentage of additional business because of GST coming down. Now, the prediction of the AI tool or prediction by the AI tool will be dependent on this additional input you are giving to. 10 years down the line, when suppose 2035, this will not be an issue because within your own company, within your own industry sector, or in data by Reserve Bank of India or data by Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, they will be publishing a lot of data of sales in FMCG business. So it all depends not only the actual quantity of data, actual value of data, it also depends upon the existing socio-economic environment, the socio-economic and geopolitical environment in future, and the same which was there in the past, and the resultant impact which can be in future. The computer has not understood the impact of tariffs by President Trump. So there are a lot of expert opinions are floating all around the world. What would be the impact of President Trump's new tariffs? But you yourself as a professional has to assess that. So this kind of things, this kind of changes, computer will not be able to think through and articulate. Any amount of tool or any tool that you use, in those cases, you have to provide the prompts. Then AI will be able to do a better prediction. Could I answer the question?
So there is a question. Another question is in transfer pricing, we validate our company data with the data of similar industries in local and foreign countries using various TP models. How ChatGPT can help us getting the macro data in generating our micro TP report?
Here, this is a very sensitive area. I'll tell you one thing, that you have a professional responsibility of providing your opinion on a transfer pricing. Okay, let's not forget it. And you know that famous Bangalore tribunal story where 4 members of a Bangalore tax tribunal, after hearing the case, generated their reply using GenerativeAI tool, and it was found that the cases they have cited in their opinion was never there in India. I'm talking about legal cases and legal opinions. Those are concocted, constructed, artificially created, hallucinated by the AI tools they have used. And all the 4 tribunal members have lost their job. Similarly, a US lawyer, while fighting a case in Supreme Court, was trying to get a similar case judgment from the library of Supreme Court of US, and he didn't get it. So he asked ChatGPT to help him to get a similar case. He prompted the case details of his own, which is fighting at the court. And ChatGPT prompted a case, and he argued on the basis of the response of the ChatGPT, and I'm sure you will know that the Supreme Court of US has opined that there was never such a case in US history, and there were never such judgment in the US history. And the case was dismissed, and the opinion was in favor of the accused, and the lawyer was put behind the bar. So let me remind you about using open source data. Now coming to your specific question that we use. Okay, my request to you would be, in such situations, you pick up the data from RBI and feed into your system. You pick up the data from Center of Monitoring Indian Industries, Indian Economies, or similar such authentic organization which publishes authentic data, so that if your opinion is questioned in any court of law or by any authority, even by your client or the auditor, you will be able to say that I have not used open source data. I have not allowed the ChatGPT or any generative tool to hallucinate me. I have fed the data from the authentic code sources and then only evaluated the transfer pricing data. I think that would be a better course of action instead of allowing any generative AI tool to help you, which is accessing the data from all over the world, which you do not know. He can ask a counter question. I'm giving him the authority to ask a counter question on this. Is he happy with this answer? He must be listening to this answer of mine.
Yes, if the participant will write in the chat, we can know, sir, that he is satisfied or not. Can we move forward to the next question, sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Sir, next question, CMA Suresh is asking that does biased news reporting affect the response by AI for any query, or does it holistically examine and then reply?
Please repeat the question slowly once again.
Does biased news reporting affect the response by an AI for any query, or does it holistically examine the news and then reply?
Let me tell you one thing. AI, who has created the human being? AI algorithm. The AI algorithm has been created by human being. You have heard the story of OpenAI, where Sam Altman himself is saying that we are deploying forensic psychiatrists for helping our software guys to create not only the algorithm, but also to help for a typical one question, which data to be accessed by the algorithm. We are helping with the help of a forensic psychiatrist. So my answer to you is that there is no substitute of you yourself looking at the answer generated by the AI tool, generative AI tool. Point number one, that is the end result. The most important thing is that in generative AI, in Perplexity, Gemini, Copilot, whichever you are using, the garbage in, garbage out applies. What is the garbage in here? The garbage in here is the prompt you are giving. Now, assume that in this previous question of transfer pricing, if the gentleman would have given a prompt that use the data only published by authentic sources of government agencies or economic research wings of countries, use only those data, and if the algorithm of that particular generative AI had a specific capability to use only those and not use any other data, then perhaps the result come out from the AI system would have been correct. So to answer you, to get a correct answer, your prompt has to be correct first. You have to definitely say, please don't hallucinate. That means don't create anything out of anything by mixing and infusing 10 different data from 10 different sources. You can also in your prompt write, use these sources data. If you are absolutely careful in giving your prompt, even also suggesting the data sources which are to be used by the tool, and if the tool is capable enough to do those, then perhaps what you will get would be a better, I will not say the best and the ideally correct one. There is no substitute to you applying your judgment and test it before you use it. There is another way of doing it. Give the prompt to more than one generative AI. Suppose you give it to Copilot, give it to Perplexity, give it to Gemini, give it to ChatGPT. compare the result coming out of it. You will definitely find differences. And then you apply your judgment and create a solution of your own, or create an output of your own. Aniket, if you would have been the querist, you would have been satisfied with this answer?
Definitely, sir. Definitely. And indeed, sir, the who asked the question previous question, he has responded that thank you, sir, for giving such an valuable information about the use of an AI and its impact.
Thank you. Any other question? Or how long you will continue? Please tell me. How many participants are there now?
There are about 95 participants are there. If you are satisfied, sir, then we can wrap up today.
No, it is up to you. You are the organizer. I cannot ask you to close it.
No, sir. No, sir. I like not like that, sir. Whenever your knowledge and experience are being
I am
shared,
here for. Let us take 3 more questions.
There are questions. Yes, sir. Randhir Paul is asking how far we depend on GPT's answer. Does every such answer needs to be cross-checked?
Needs to be
cross-checked.
Yes, it should be. Not only cross-checked, you should yourself check it, whether you are happy. And mind you, in your prompt, you should say 2 things. Please don't hallucinate. It must be written by you. It also, if you are in a position to provide the instruction that please use data only from governmental sources, authentic sources, or consultancy houses of Big 4, etc. That means if you can define the data, it would be better. Repeat the question once more, Aniket, the same question.
Okay, sir. The question is how far we depend on ChatGPT's answer. That does every such answer needs to be cross-checked?
It is up to you to depend or not to depend, cross-check or not to cross-check. Prima facie, if your reading says that you are happy, and if you don't feel the necessity of cross-checking, then it is up to you to decide whether you will be using that output or you will be cross-checking. But let me tell you, I myself, in your situation for this kind of a problem, will first write my answers on my own. I will do my own research. I'll spend my own time if it is very important and I'm running a risk to, if I give a wrong information, definitely I'll be running a risk. I will do my own job first. Like what I do 10 different research from internet, from mostly I do internet. Then if I'm having access to library books, I do that, create my answer and then go to ChatGPT, take their Copilot or Gemini and get the answers from there, and then finally and get their final answer and then compare. 2 more questions, Aniket.
Sir, there is no questions ahead. But okay. Mr. Randhir Paul, who has just asked the previous question, he wrote in the chat that many thanks for your informative presentation, with which help us a lot. Yes, sir. Another question is there. Mohammad Rafiq is asking, sir, how to confirm the source we are using to authenticate it is reliable or not?
There is, as of now, I don't think there is any capability of the system to confirm it, because any ChatGPT company, any generative AI company is saying that you are using the software at your own risk. So it is you to take a decision whether you use it or not use it.
Okay, sir. So there is no questions.
Okay. Anything else, Aniket?
Till now, sir, no, there is no.
Let us close the discussion now. Let us close the discussion. Thank you very much indeed, Aniket, for all your help and support. And I am grateful to the Institute for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you. As we come to the close of this highly insightful webinar on artificial intelligence and its impact on modern education, it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Board of Advanced Studies and Research and the Directorate of Studies of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. As our Joint Director and HOD, CMA Tinku Ghosdas is on a training, so she could not join today. First and foremost, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to CMA Dr. Paritosh Basu sir for his enlightening and thought-provoking session. Sir, your deep insights into the role of artificial intelligence and in transforming the education ecosystem have truly enriched our understanding and inspired us to think about the future of learning in new ways. Our sincere thanks also go to the President of the Institute, CMA TCS Srinivasa Prasad sir, and the Vice President, CMA Neeraj Dhananjay Joshi sir, and the Chairman of Board of Advanced Studies and Research and the Directorate of Studies, CMA Vinay Ranjan P sir, for their continuous guidance, encouragement, and support in organizing such knowledge-driven initiatives. I would also like to thank all the participants who joined us today and contributed to making this session a success through their active engagement and keen interest. We hope this session has provided valuable perspectives and will inspire further exploration of artificial intelligence role in shaping modern education. Thank you once again, everyone, for being a part of this program.
Thank you, Aniket, and thanks to all the participants for their help and support in conducting this webinar and for their patience. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I'll sign off, Aniket.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.